Animal is incredible. So let's meet the meerkats of the Gossa gang. This is Cleopatra, known as Cleo, the alpha female and the leader of the group. Gandalf is her partner and the wise protector of the gang. Delilah is Cleo's sister and might well be planning a coup to become the leader herself. Napoleon, the lazy one, doing as little as possible. Solo, who has lost the love of the gang and is often found alone and vulnerable. And the four mischievous meerkat kids. Starsky and his naughty brother Hutch, and Priscilla and Matimba, the caring sisters. Welcome to Kalahari. Meerkat is a small member of the mongoose family that thrives in the Kalahari. These gregarious animals live in groups called gangs and often stand on their rear legs to gaze alertly over the southern African plains. At night, they live in burrows under the sand, which they have to continuously maintain. Their home is their castle, their safe haven, where they can hide from predators.
Cleo is one of the first to come out of the burrow this morning, and her partner Gandalf is not far behind. They are the alpha male and female of the group.
Meerkats live in a matriarchal society, and so Cleo is the true leader of the group. However, as she is now very pregnant and due to give birth in about a week, Gandalf has had to up his game and is doing most of the sentry duty. When you are only 1 foot tall, the Kalahari is a vast and dangerous place, and meerkats need to be on high alert at all times, but especially when out in the open. The sentry protects the group while they are out foraging. He or she stands on their hind legs and often on a high point to scout for any dangers above or below. The second a predator is spotted, the alarm will be raised and the gang will bolt for the nearest place of safety.
Gandalf likes to get really high, and to be honest, having studied him for a while now, I think he's a bit of a thrill seeker.
The Gossa gang have learnt that their strength lies in numbers, and they never stray far from each other, even when away from the burrow foraging. Matimba is a great forager, and often gets enough food for herself and then more to feed to the youngsters. Now she has found a large black beetle, which is a true meerkat's favorite. Her determination means she always finds them, even where others can't. There is one meerkat that does not benefit from the group's strength, as she has been ousted. Her name is Solo, and you can see her here looking on from a distance as the group forages.
Earlier this year, I saw her have a vicious fight with Cleo, and since then, she has been living on her own. She often stands at a distance when the rest of the gang is out finding food. I think she longs to be back in the group and have the security that comes with that. Her days are spent foraging on her own, which is dangerous as she has no one to stand on guard while she has her head down in the sand looking for morsels of food. I arrived this morning and it looks like Cleo gave birth last night. You can see that there is red sand stuck to her fur and her belly is drastically reduced. The pups are still underground and will remain there for 2 to 3 weeks. This burrow is one of 5 burrows that the Gosser gang uses in this area and is known as the sourgrass burrow.
Daily excavations are necessary to maintain and renovate burrow systems. Often young meerkats will get one behind another and work together to move sand out of the burrow system. Hutch is great at burrow maintenance. However, his brother Starsky always prefers to play around and tries to avoid these rather monotonous daily chores.
It seems that all 10 are heading off to forage as they normally would. But what about the pups? Surely Cleo would not leave them alone underground. What is going on? What if a snake gets into the hole? There is no one to protect these vulnerable newborn babies. Cleo should really stay behind, or at least have a babysitter.
Foraging is carrying on as normal, and nobody seems to be giving a second thought to the fact that there are helpless pups alone back at the burrow. This is truly strange behavior for the gang.
Starsky is up to his normal tricks. He is the youngest member of the gang and is a real character, full of life, extremely curious, and rather mischievous. He has recently discovered the power of his anal gland, which is used for scent marking, and has been marking anything he can lift his leg up to, including my camera rig and the other gang members. Solo is here today. As usual, she is watching from a distance, hoping that Cleo will not see her, but trying to still feel like one of the gang. Maybe now that Cleo has given birth, she will allow her back in as a babysitter. She seems to be trying to get a little closer each day.
Delilah is Cleo's sister and a very strong character. If Solo can gain her trust, she may be welcomed back in sooner than she thinks. Solo and Delilah have always had a good relationship, and today they seem to be bonding well. Maybe the future will not be so bad for Solo after all.
I have been noticing that Delilah's belly is looking swollen. She may have gotten herself pregnant, which is very dangerous. If a beta female gets pregnant within the group, then she often either gets ousted or her babies are killed by the alpha female. I hope Delilah is strong enough to cope with whatever comes her way.
The Gosser gang had made their way to the dam burrow. The Gosser Dam is one of Tswalu's most beautiful dams, and in fact where the Gosser meerkats got. Gandalf is once more the sentry for this morning, but he doesn't seem to be on his best form. Priscilla is one of the youngsters, and she often grooms her sister Matimba. These two are very close. Meerkats brush and clean each other's fur with their claws and teeth. It's an important daily activity as it strengthens the bonds between the animals and is the only way of getting rid of pesky parasites.
The group seems disturbed as they head off to forage this morning. Delilah and 3 males have split off and are foraging on their own.
Delilah, while very courageous, is also a highly strung beta female who keeps her distance from the alpha pair. The 3 males that she is foraging with today are Napoleon, Brutus and Dingaan. All are fairly submissive to Delilah, and maybe that is why she has split off with them. Napoleon, however, tends to be very lazy and struggles to work well in a team. He is often found hiding far from the group when daily chores are being carried out.
I am now sure that Delilah is pregnant. Her belly is getting bigger every day, and this split from the rest of the gang is certainly suspicious. Delilah may be distancing herself from Cleo as she is afraid that Cleo will kill her pups.
Camelthorn trees are endemic to the Kalahari, and this beautiful, slow-growing tree does well in poor soils and in harsh environmental conditions. Meerkats will often use the inside of one of these trees to forage, as it is the perfect place for one of their favorite foods, the scorpion. They even risk encounters with snakes to find this delicacy. This morning, a lone meerkat can be seen coming towards them. It is solo. She is now trying her luck with Delilah. She knows that Delilah is also not on good terms with Cleo, and if they can unite, then together they can possibly depose Cleo as the gang's leader. Delilah seems unfazed, and for now the 5 of them forage together. The Gossa meerkats really love the yellowish-white beetle larvae that are found out here in the Kalahari. These larvae belong to a large and diverse family of beetles. You can always tell if a meerkat has sniffed one of these juicy treats out, as they will frantically dig deeper and deeper to find this tantalizing treasure. Delilah is a strong forager, and with her leadership skills, she holds the group together. She must, however, know that if they don't reunite with the rest of the gang, both groups could be in trouble.
The gang spent the day foraging fairly far east before making their way back to the Gossa Dam burrow. As they approached from the northeast, the Gossas were suddenly on high alert as something to the south grabbed their attention. I looked towards the dam and saw 3 meerkats sitting on top of the Gossa Dam burrow. Ah, there's the rest of the group, I thought. But when I looked again, there were 5. I looked back at the Gossa gang, who were now firmly on the alert, and when I looked back in the direction of the dam, there were 8 meerkats. I looked frantically back at the 6 Gossa members, and then back to the dam, and now there were 11. Was this a mirage? Where did all these meerkats come from? And then it hit me. The Yaku's Dune gang have launched an expedition deep into the Gossa territory. The 6 Gossa gang members moved forwards, bounding and chirping as they came closer to the Gossa Dam burrow. Both groups of meerkats were now at full alert, tails raised, backs arched, ready for action. Suddenly, the Yaku's Dune invaders rushed down the embankment towards the Gossa gang, bounding bravely forward with tails aimed high. And what did our gang do? They turned tail and literally flew back to their bird's nest burrow. The gang spent the day foraging fairly far east before making their way back to the Gosser Dam burrow. As they approached from the northeast, the Gossers were suddenly on high alert as something to the south grabbed their attention. I looked towards the dam and saw 3 meerkats sitting on top of the Gosser Dam burrow. Ah, there's the rest of the group, I thought. But when I looked again, there were 5. I looked back at the Gosser gang, who were now firmly on the alert, and when I looked back in the direction of the dam, there were 8 meerkats. I looked frantically back at the 6 Gosser members, and then back to the dam, and now there were 11. Was this a mirage? Where did all these meerkats come from? And then it hit me. The Yaku's Dune gang have launched an expedition deep into the Gosser territory. The 6 Gosser gang members moved forwards, bounding and chirping as they came closer to the Gosser Dam burrow. Both groups of meerkats were now at full alert, tails raised, backs arched, ready for action. Suddenly, the Yaku's Dune invaders rushed down the embankment towards the Gosser gang, bounding bravely forward with tails aimed high. And what did our gang do? They turned tail and literally flew back to their bird's nest burrow. To a bunch of marauding invaders.
Yaku's Dune group has 20 meerkats. They are much stronger than the Gossers and may use this time of confusion to take over their territory. A mood of sadness descends upon the gang. Losing the Gosser Dam burrow is a real blow. It is the best burrow in the area because predators could be seen approaching. The gang felt safe there, but now it is lost. This morning, Solo is again foraging with Delilah's group, and it looks like this may be her way back into the family. She is so happy to have the security of a group again. Having been on her own for so long, even just 4 other meerkats inviting her into a dysfunctional family is amazing. Delilah seems to have made the decision to try and move back with the splinter group into the rest of the family. Splitting the family is pointless, as both groups will be weaker. She understands that her pups may be in danger once they are born, but for now there is little point in being separated. Particularly while this Yaku's Dune invasion is underway, the Gosser gang needs to stand together. The renegades head to Bird's Nest Burrow, where Cleo and the rest of the gang slept last night.
There they are, relaxing after the previous night's excitement.
Meerkats constantly communicate with one another in 3 different ways: scent, sound, and body language. Over 20 different sounds have been recorded, each with a different meaning. Calls are used when warning the group of an aerial or terrestrial predator. In addition to alarm calls, meerkats also make panic calls, recruitment calls, moving calls, and bonding sounds. While Rob has been filming and spending time with the gang, he has been making meerkat-type noises. As a result, the meerkats have been much quicker to accept him as one of their own. Approaching the main group, Delilah, Dingon, Brutus, Napoleon, and Solo moved submissively towards Cleo. And fortunately, she is happy to let them back in. There was a quick reunion with mutual grooming and burrow maintenance, and everything looked like it was completely back to normal. 11 meerkats in the Gossa gang all together for the first time in 3 months. Suddenly, the atmosphere of the group changed, and it became obvious why Cleo had so happily let the others back in. She had decided to fight the Yucco's Dune invaders for the precious Gossa Dam burrow. To stand any chance of success, she needs the family at full strength. Gossa's 11 then approached the dam from the northwest, hoping to use the element of surprise to catch their enemies off guard. But as they got close, they found the whole Yucco's Dune gang waiting for them, ready for battle.